So in this video, I want to speak about 5 common mistakes that many people make when putting together their to-do list. As I mentioned, a to-do list is perhaps the most important thing you can make for your time management. Without a to-do list, you really don't know what needs to get done today, what needs to get done tomorrow, and this really helps bring structure to your day. Now, the most common mistake that people make with their to-do list is that they try to make it first thing in the morning. So they wake up in the morning and they say, what do I need to do today? And they start writing it down. Now, why is this a mistake? This is a mistake because in the morning you are groggy, you are tired. It takes you a while to remember things. So it may take you half an hour to an hour to actually make your to-do list, and then too you are going to forget some things. So what's the alternative? The alternative is to do what I do. Every day before going to bed, I make sure my to-do list for the next day is ready. Why? So that when I wake up, I know exactly what needs to get done for that day. And I start plowing through my to-do list. So no time is wasted in the morning thinking, what do I need to do today? I already know. I wrote it the night before. I slept on it. My mind worked out the plans for it while I'm sleeping. I wake up full of energy and I get it done. So mistake number 1, making your to-do list in the morning. Fix for that mistake. Make it the day before, around 5 p.m., around 7 p.m., whichever time suits you. Just make sure you go to bed with your next day's to-do list already written out. Mistake number 2 is keeping it too short. So if your to-do list has 3 or 4 items on it, within the first 2 or 3 hours of the day, it's done. What do you do with the rest of the day? So make sure you fill it up with enough tasks to get done in that day. So you need to figure out for yourself, okay, I have these 5 tasks on my to-do list. This one takes me 5 minutes. This one takes me 1 hour. That one takes me 1.5 hours. The other one takes me 10 minutes. The other one takes me 15 minutes. That's only 3 hours of work. I have 8 working hours in a day. Let me add a few more tasks in. Or mistake number 3 is on the opposite end of the spectrum, which is making your to-do list too long. So you have 8 hours in a day and you filled in 30 tasks on your to-do list, and most of them take an hour or half an hour to do. It's impossible to complete it. So you need to be realistic. You need to figure out how much time you need per task and accordingly make your to-do list. Now every task is different. So if you look at my to-do list, I have tasks which take 5 to 10 minutes a day, and I have tasks which take 1 or 2 hours a day. And I have a balance between the two. So when I wake up in the morning, it looks like I have 15 tasks to do for the day. But out of those 15 tasks, 5 of them are time consuming and the other 10 take about 5 or 10 minutes each. So it's manageable. It's realistic for myself because I understand myself. I know how much time I need for each task and I know what I can get done in a day. So mistake number 2, too short. Mistake number 3, too long. How do you fix these mistakes? Figure out how much time you need for each task and then make your to-do list accordingly to fill in enough tasks to make up for your work hours. Mistake number 4 is leaving out things which are not due today. So you may say, you know what, this is only due in 3 weeks time. I'm not putting it on my to-do list today. That's a big mistake because in 3 weeks time, you're going to have to do 3 weeks worth of work in one day when you finally decide to add it to your to-do list. So this goes to chunking, which is another time managed principle taught in this course. And that basically means break it down. Yeah, if you have 3 weeks to work on an assignment, break it down so that you work on it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, every day for those 3 weeks, and you will get it done in time. Do not say this is not due today, so I'm not putting it on my to-do list. Rather say I will work towards it today. I will work on it for 15 minutes today or half an hour today, whatever it is. Make sure that if something is due in a few weeks or even in a few months time, or even if it doesn't have a deadline, that you still add it to your to-do list if it is important to you. For example, making these videos. There's no deadline for them. You know, it's something which if I want, I can procrastinate indefinitely about and no one's going to tell me anything about it. But I make sure that I add it to my to-do list to record a video a day. Why? So that it gets done. Otherwise, I would just procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate. But if it's on the to-do list, it gets done. So mistake number 4 is thinking that it's not due today, so I'm not going to write it down. No, if it's important to you, write it down. Otherwise, it's never going to get done. And you may end up missing your deadline altogether or never ever doing it. Mistake number 5 is thinking that this is such a small thing, I don't need to write it in my to-do list, I'll remember it. And if you do that, I'm thinking if you have a busy day, there's a big chance you are going to forget to do it. So I write everything down in my to-do list that needs to be done that day. Whether it's paying my rent, whether it's picking up my paycheck, whether it's phoning my mechanic, whatever it is, even if it seems trivial, if it needs to get done that day, it is written in my to-do list. Otherwise, I'm going to forget it. Now, there's a chance I might not forget it, but there's also a chance that I might forget it. I don't want to take that chance. So don't think it's too small to write down. If it needs to be done, write it down so that you don't forget it. So these are 5 common mistakes that people make when putting together their to-do list. Number 1, making it in the morning. Number 2, making it too short. Number 3, making it too long. Number 4, leaving out tasks that are not due today. And number 5, thinking I'll remember it so I don't need to write it down. If you avoid these 5 mistakes, then your to-do list will become a major factor in your time management.